Okay, obviously there's not a lot that I need to say. We got our butts kicked. I told the team, I've had my butt kicked before. I didn't do a good job this week. I was concerned about a variety of things this week. We didn't practice like we normally practice, and that's my fault. And that's what you get. I apologize to the team. I didn't handle our team very well this week, and I'm not taking anything away from Kansas State. They're a good team, and they played really well. I don't know, you'd have to ask Coach. I don't know if they could have played a better game than they played today, and then we weren't prepared. We just weren't. We weren't very physical up front. We couldn't do much to balance ourselves offensively. We weren't prepared, and it's really pretty simple. And I'll take responsibility for that. I learned a good lesson. I tried to do a couple things different, and obviously I'm not going to do that again. So I told the guys that sometimes the way life is, not quite as fun as it was last week, but as I say every Saturday, you're gonna play again about this time next week. So guys need to recover, get home, come back to work tomorrow, get ready to go. We don't have any time to waste. We have to identify what happened in certain instances and come up with solutions and plans and put them in place and move forward. And I'm repeating myself now, but I've told the guy I've had my butt kicked before. Not any fun, but we know how to fight back, and we will. Guys need to stick together and get ready tomorrow. Get 6 days to prepare for the next game.
Mike, what were some of the concerns with practice this week that caused you to do some things differently?
We just have limited numbers of spots, and so I got concerned about maybe getting the guy beat up in practice, just with some numbers, and so we didn't practice like we should have, and it's my fault.
What's your most concerning part of the game today?
I mean, that's almost a joke. Everything. I wouldn't even know where to start. We didn't slow them down on offense. We couldn't score on. We didn't slow them down on defense. Couldn't score on offense, and we were okay in special teams. Actually, we were really pretty good, except for one tight punt. There's just a lot today. We didn't play good. We weren't prepared. You saw a team that wasn't prepared. That's what you said, and that's what we get.
Was there a thought to take Spencer out, given the score, like a little bit earlier than what he ended up having to come out?
No, Spencer wanted to compete, wanted to play. Well, he has the right to do that, and so, until then, we let him fight.
Mike, what about, you talk about, you gotta get back and figure some things out, but psychologically today, this was not good for your guys, I wouldn't imagine. How do you get over that going into next week?
I think that's a great question, but that's life. We talk about it all the time in our culture, that sometimes things go your way, sometimes they don't. Good news is it only counts as one loss. Am I concerned about them? Yeah, for 24 hours. But college football is a great teaching tool for life. And today, they learn, or tomorrow, they need to learn to fight back when their backs are against the wall from not playing in a good game. So the reason people will feel this is so much more impactful than maybe before is because we won a lot of football games in this program, and that's what people expect every weekend. And so we got our butt kicked today, we got out-coached, and they made more plays than us. But I'm not really concerned about them. What we need to do is come up with a plan for things we did wrong, coaching-wise and concept-wise and player-wise. That'll be more of a boost for us than anything.
Mike, you said you were concerned with the way you prepared the team. Did you get a sense early in the game that this was going to happen? Did you kind of get a sense
Get
at
a
all
sense
today?
when?
That or at any point today that this might go how it went? Did you ever get a sense of that, or is it?
You talking about during the game?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. You watched the same game I did. As we went on and we couldn't establish anything offensively, you get your back to the wall and you become a little bit one-dimensional, which can be an issue. And then what that does is that allows the play caller for the other team to dial up plays much more comfortably than in a situation where it's a 1 or 2 score game.
It may be something small in a day where a lot went wrong, but your defensive line, which has been really such a strength, didn't seem to get much push, much pressure. How much of a factor was that for your defense?
Oh, I think some. Again, I would have to watch the tape and really get a feel for what's going on. I would hate to step out there right now without watching the tape to give a fair assessment for the guys.
Do you feel like the way you practice in the week kind of led into the physicality of today's game?
Yeah, that's what I started with today. I altered what we've done practice-wise, and I learned and made a mistake. I certainly thought it was the best thing to do, or I wouldn't have done it. But obviously, sometimes I'm not always right.
Anything else for Coach?
Y'all are letting me off easy. That's it.
Well, how do you feel about, I mean, you guys don't lose many games, period, but to lose 48-0, what does that do for you?
Well, I think the thing you mentioned earlier is that, gosh, I don't know. I mean, we really haven't had to do a lot of what would be maybe mental recovery in the past year. Like you said, we played good football for a long, long time. So the challenge for those guys, not just the players but the coaches, is to come to work tomorrow, and when you evaluate and look at what happened, it's difficult because it wasn't fun and there's not going to be a lot of success. So the 14 hours or 16 hours that we have tomorrow to work as coaches won't be much fun, but they'll be very important to come up with answers and solutions the best that we can to move forward, to have a good workout tomorrow night. They get a day off Monday, and then come back Tuesday and get some work done.
You were without Dom, obviously. What's his status right now?
I'm not sure. I'm not comfortable in commenting on players' injuries at any point, and so hopefully we'll know a lot more on some of those guys on Tuesday.
Are the issues in the run game physicality? Is it personnel? Are you able to pinpoint kind of 1 or 2 things that are going wrong in the run game?
Again, I would have to watch the tape. I can generally give you a pretty good idea, but we didn't have much success at all, so I would really hate to step out there until we look at the tape and kind of see where we're at to get a better feel for what happened.
You guys came into this game one of the top scoring offenses in the country. They only did 0 points. Did they do anything on defense that you didn't expect throughout the week? Or
No, I did good. They ran their stuff. Same stuff that we saw on tape.
You said you altered some things in the way you practiced this week. What were some of those?
I'd rather not talk about it, but I don't want to discuss the details of what we did. I thought it was best, but it wasn't. Obviously, we weren't very prepared to play.
We saw Tom get hurt there. How is he okay? Tom Hutton?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Mike, I apologize. I missed when you were talking earlier about what you altered in practice, but it has been in response to, because you have so many guys that are banged up trying to get through that issue.
Yeah, I just was concerned about maybe getting another guy nicked up and banged up in practice, and so I altered some things, and we weren't as physical, and I didn't do a good job. I should have just stayed with the course and stayed with where we were at. And that's what I said earlier. You might not have been in here, but we changed a few things up, and if I had to do it all over again, I certainly wouldn't do it. But I gotta do a better job preparing them. They didn't. I'm not gonna say that we played good, but it starts with me, and I gotta do a better job getting them ready, and I was wrong. I was wrong last week.
All good?